Hey everyone, this is Christopher Brower here with Daily Motor, and today we're driving this 2021 Volkswagen Atlas Cross Sport SEL V6. Now, if you're familiar with the current market and the way things are going, it's a sort of a trending style of SUV right now. Manufacturers are taking their normal base for their mid-size, full-size SUV, whatever it may be, and they're sort of changing the roofline to more of a lower, sloped, sporty look. And this is what Volkswagen's done with this car. So we have, of course, the normal Volkswagen Atlas with a more traditional hatchback roofline, but now we have this, the Cross Sport. Underneath, essentially just a normal Volkswagen Atlas, but with a slightly different body. The problem with a lot of these cars is that you end up sacrificing rear headroom in order to look a little bit cooler and more with the times. But I'm happy to report with this Volkswagen Atlas, that isn't really the case. You still have quite a bit of headroom in the back. The interior overall is a nice place to be. Exterior-wise, we're finished here in pure gray. We've got some nice 20-inch wheels. This is not the R-Line package, so we don't have all of the crazy body-colored, low, spoilers and everything. But I think as an SEL, just as a normal sort of looking vehicle, it doesn't look bad. A lot of the times these cross sport sort of coupe looking SUVs, in my opinion anyways, look a little bit silly. But I think in this case, they've absolutely nailed the styling. It doesn't look too cheesy. Granted, the front grille is a little bit large and cartoony, but glossing over that, the rest of it is actually pretty nice, pretty sophisticated, and it's a little bit more grown up than you see a lot of other cars in this class. Oh, these aren't real either. We do have a towing pack, but next to the real towing pack, we have, of course, the fake exhaust tips. I don't even know where the real ones are. I looked under there earlier. They're not easily visible, so I guess that's okay. You can't see the real ones, you can only see the fake ones. Power liftgate, of course. Lots of room in this thing, like an incredible amount of room, which is awesome. Under here we have, of course, our spare tire and subwoofer. Pretty cool. So much room back here. I could lay down and curl up and sleep back there with no problem. This shuts pretty quickly as well. It may actually shut in enough time to prevent your dogs from running out if you have dogs back there. The actual back seat of this thing is awesome. It's massive. I cannot remember the last time I sat in the back seat of an SUV this size and had this much leg room. I'm 5'11". This is in my desired driving position. And I mean, look at this legroom. It's uncanny, the amount of legroom back here and headroom. Like I said, a lot of the times with these you sacrifice headroom, but I mean, I've got a GoPro stuck to my head and I've still got enough headroom back here. So that's pretty cool. In the middle, normal cup holder situation or armrest, whatever you'd like. With this SEL, we do have heated rear seats. We've got some USB-C ports. Unfortunately, there are no normal USB ports, but that's like a current trend with Volkswagen. They're just getting rid of all of their USB ports and replacing them with USB-Cs, which is a little bit irritating, but it's kind of the way with the way that cords are going anyways, so it'll be all right. Massive panoramic moonroof, black headliner. The actual color of this interior is called burgundy. I think that the overall spec of this car is very nice as well. This color is a little bit overplayed, but I think on this car it's kind of appropriate. And with the burgundy interior, it really sets it off, especially this nice white stitching here on the door panels and on the black accents of the seats. Once we're up front, it's very typical Volkswagen. We've been seeing this steering wheel now for the past year or two, making its way into all their cars, which I really like. I love the flat bottom. I love the sort of chrome logo here in the middle. Their new logo looks great. Sort of normal Volkswagen shifter here. Also, one thing that's great is we have lots of just normal buttons. There are no sort of haptic touch or whatever those buttons are called that they use in some of their new cars. We have a volume knob on our infotainment. Let's start this thing up. Fully digital display here in the middle. You can change that to view however you would like it to. Heated and cooled seats that we can heat and cool at the same time. I love that you can do this in Volkswagens. Absolutely epic feature. Always good to see. Overall interior materials, they're not the best, but you have to remember this is a Volkswagen, so you're not going to have Bentley levels of luxury in here. We do have at least what appears to be a stitched leather dash. We've got this fake aluminum style trim that goes around. A small amount of piano black here in the middle. Is it pre-scratched? Actually, it's not. I don't really see any scratches in this yet. Center console, big enough for a baseball cap. Yeah, I mean, it's an interior. Is it good enough? I don't know. I don't know that it's good enough, but it's okay. I'm not mad at the interior of this car. We do have wireless Apple CarPlay as well, with a wireless phone charger down here in this cubby and 2 more USB-C ports, as well as just a normal 12 volt. So with all that out of the way, let's go ahead and take this Atlas Cross Sport for a drive and see what it's like on the road. Very just traditional Volkswagen shifter there. God, that shifter's been around for like 20 years, it seems like. So the Atlas Cross Sport is available with a couple different powertrains. You can get it with a 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder that makes around about 250 horsepower, or you can option in a 3.6-liter V6, which is what this car has, that makes 276 horsepower and 266 foot-pounds of torque. This car also comes standard with 4-motion 4-wheel drive, which is great because the normal front-wheel drive Atlas has a couple of issues with setting off that this car actually has as well. I'll demonstrate once we get up here. The throttle tuning is a little bit odd on this car, and it's really the first thing that you notice when you set off. And I was really hoping they would have fixed this issue for 2021, especially with this new body style with the Cross Sport. But that is not the case. Come to our complete stop here, and I'll set off, giving the car just a normal amount of throttle. You see that? It's extremely aggressive off the line for no reason, and if you do have the front-wheel drive Atlas, it does tend to spin the wheels. Fortunately, this one is all-wheel drive, so it doesn't do that, but it's very lurchy and very eager to just take off very quickly off the line for no real good reason. It's very strange. And the most frustrating part about this is after you've taken off like a madman and it's spun the wheels and everything, once you're actually driving, it's hesitant to actually go anywhere. It's a very strange throttle tuning, transmission tuning setup. It doesn't really make any sense. It's very inconsistent. And that 276 horsepower, I don't know that it's enough. I really wish that we had an option maybe for a turbo V6, maybe like 320, 330, 350 horsepower. It would be cool because the exterior of this car makes you think that it would be kind of like a quick sporty SUV. It's just really not. This thing is by no means fast in any department. The transmission is kind of constantly searching for the right gear to be in. I found that it's never really in the right gear that I want it to be in. All right, coming up now to the first corner. Let's see how the Atlas Cross Sport takes a sweeping left-hander. Not too bad for an SUV this size. And nice performance there around guardrail as well. Introducing the bumpy surface. The overall ride and comfort in the Atlas, not bad at all. I mean, this is a car that you could take on a long trip and you would have no problems. Even though they've made the exterior design look a little bit sporty, we still retain our nice ride comfort. Yeah, that's a properly bumpy section there and no problem at all. Okay, this is flat out. And that's 60. It's really not fast. I'm slightly disappointed by the powertrain in this car. It's really underwhelming. The tuning's not there, which is a real shame because there are a lot of other parts of this car that are really exceptional, and it would be class leading if they would just fix the issues with our powertrain, our tuning, and everything related to that. Switching now though over to the infotainment. We go back, oh, that's wrong. We go back to just our normal Volkswagen display. Now we've got our normal Volkswagen infotainment. It's quite quick, it's reactive. I have noticed that the Apple CarPlay lags quite a bit though. I don't know if I could actually get it to do that right now. First we must go around Understeer. For example, when we're in Spotify, I don't know if I can actually get it to lag. Okay, well, it's not lagging now, but at some random points it'll lag pretty bad, which is extremely irritating when you're trying to, either skip the song, navigate to a different song on a certain album. It's very frustrating to have to go through the stupid thing having to lag and do its thing there. Though I am happy that we do have a volume knob. The Golf GTI, the Mark 8 GTI, did not have a volume knob. It was very irritating, and all the stupid buttons that are not actually buttons that are on the steering wheel. Same sort of layout here, except instead of individual buttons that you can press, they're just sort of big strips that like move around and aren't actually buttons. Very irritating. Buttons here for our climate control as well. That's good to see. We have a switch here to turn off our auto stop start, which I've found in Volkswagens is very aggressive. The auto stop start is like very lurchy and kind of just, I guess, goes along with how everything else powertrain wise is tuned in this car. Very much not satisfying, but luckily we've got a button right there to turn it off and keep it off. All right, turning now onto our entrance ramp. Let's see what this Atlas Cross Sport can do for road holding. We do have some Goodyear assurances on here. See this? I'm like foot to the floor and it hasn't downshifted. Okay. It almost felt like it wanted to oversteer a little bit there at 55. Yeah, see, now it should be, there you go. Downshift again. Okay, or don't. I like the way that it drives. I like the steering. I like the ride. The suspension's fine. The brakes feel fine. The styling of the car is great. The interior is great. The space, the way that they've sort of handled the design and been able to incorporate the sporty design without sacrificing headroom, legroom, all of that is great, and it's let down by the boring, non-satisfying, lackluster V6 and shoddy tuning. And there you go, there's the Atlas Cross Sport. We still have a little bit left here. If you think about it, it's sort of like the cheapest alternative to a Lamborghini Urus and Audi Q8. It's like the third down on the totem pole, because it sort of shares the same design language that those cars have, and those are of course housed by Volkswagen Auto Group. But unfortunately, I don't really think it lives up to the name to be able to be called a baby Urus or even a baby Q8, honestly. All right, everyone. Well, that is going to conclude our test today of the 2021 Volkswagen Atlas Cross Sport SEL V6. I'm really torn on this car, and I'm a little bit sad because in some ways this car is great, in other ways it's not so great. I really just think Volkswagen is capable of making this thing better, and it could 100% be class leading if they would just make it better, if they would give us a better powertrain. What I'm really trying to say here is that this car has the underpinnings, it has the structure to really be class leading, but I think in order to be, we're gonna need a turbo V6 or some more appealing engine. We're gonna need that DSG Volkswagen. With those things, this thing really would truly be great. So what do you think? Would you drive a Volkswagen Atlas Cross Sport? Let me know in the comments. Do one little last walk around so you can see the exterior design of this thing one more time before I let you go for the day. All right, everyone. Well, thank you so much for watching. This has been Christopher Brower with Daily Motor, and as always, drive on.